TheDougRiceShow. Well, TheDougRiceShow. Well, TheDougRiceShow. And I'm Doug Rice. How you doing? I'm here. Doug Rice. Don't get scared. It's me. Yes, it's been a while. And here I am to make you smile. That's right, Negroes. How are you? My name is Doug Rice. I've not done a live in so long, so very long. But this will be the beginning of something beautiful. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Now, I started here on TikTok 2021. January 6th, 2021. A day that will live in infamy. It was horrible. We watched Caucasity show its ugly behind. And it was a completely different kind of Caucasity, as we all did see. It was a threatening kind of veracity. But I digress. Let me tell you the rest. 70,000 followers in TikTok, and I was going strong, and then I go ahead and went and said something wrong. And that was the end of that. And 4, 5, 6, 7 TikTok accounts later, here I am back feeling even greater. I'm just joking. I've lost a lot of TikTok subscribers, but, you know, hey, they keep canceling my livers, too. That's why I stopped doing lives and stopped doing so many of the videos that I was doing. I was doing back to back videos, okay? And they were canceling me. But as a writer, I felt it better to express myself on the written word instead of just, you know, in front of the camera looking absurd, which is what I do. Now listen, folks, this is a special kind of live. This is the Doug Rice Show PDF drive to keep the Doug Rice Show alive. That's a pretty long title, but I couldn't fit it in. And so I just stuck to recital. Yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, if you look at any of my lives, if you look at any of my lives that are on YouTube, if you look at my lives that are on Facebook, you will see that every day, 7 a.m. sharp, I'm on these platforms and I give you a solid hour and a half of show. And I show you, I bring receipts. I have a collection of PDFs that I offer in exchange for your support. And so, I will use the lives of TikTok to promote what I do for the rest of the week. 7 a.m. And Katrina will give you all the nomenclature needed to find me on these social media platforms. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, now X. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitch. I am on YouTube, The Doug Rice Show. And every day I'll be there, just so you know. Ready to give you info. Just so you're prepared to go. You know, because that's what's happening. We're about out of here. So tonight, I'm going to stick doing this. Now, I've got some packages, if you will. I've got packages I'm here to fill. I've got $200 for 60 PDFs and so on and so forth. Katrina will show the rest. And I'm trying to raise the necessary capital to keep doing this as long as I'm able, as long as I can, every day. And again, 7 a.m., I believe that's Pacific Standard Time, but I'm here in Arizona, so go by that time, not by mine, all right? Okay, so folks, what am I going to do? I'm going to tell you a few of the PDFs that I have. Some of them are not designed to make you laugh, for goodness sake. Few that we've gone over the last few days, and if you want some of these PDFs, just use the $ The Doug Rice Show, and I will give you these PDFs all day, just so you know. Okay, anyway, so here's what I got. I got some. One today was interesting. I got something called The Unseen Hand. The Unseen Hand, an introduction to the conspiratorial view of history by Ralph Epperson. Now, I found that to be an exciting looking PDF filled with great information. One of these can be yours, right to the Negro Nation. And they got different chapters, 1 through looks like 23, covering pretty much every kind of variety. Wow, chapter 1, God or government. 2, freedom, forms of government, economic terms, inflation. These are information that we need. I like that stuff, so I'll go ahead and concede to that. The ones that I've read, kind of interesting. The Lost Tribes, A Myth, Suggestions Toward Rewriting Hebrew History. Pretty good file. I've read a lot of these on every show. In fact, just so you know, if you wanted to quickly go over and see what I offer, I have allowed YouTube and my other platforms to restream a live that was done on Sunday. If you want to leave here real quick, I'll be here for a while. You can head over to YouTube and you can check out my style. I'm not too bad, at least that's the opinions I've had. But the next day, tomorrow evening, starting at 6, I've put another video in the mix, and that one involves who is Esau/Edom. And that one you have to check out, because we've got some real interesting stories about the origins of the individuals that claim to be us but are not. Now, I've got a list of all the words I can't say while doing this, and so Katrina has made me very much aware of what will shut this live down. But the reason I've made certain to give you the opportunity to see what I do is so that you'll start hanging around, right? You get it? Yes, yes. Now, have you read some of what I've written? I've written a few things, and I've enjoyed some of the responses those things bring. I do appreciate all that you've been reading, but now it's your support that I'll be needing. I'm Doug Rice. Let me go over a few things. Let me make this as informative for you as possible. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and hurt some feelings. I don't know. It just depends on my mood. We'll see what kind of information I decide to exude. All right, so check this out. We see what's happening over in the Middle East, but that's not everything that's happening, to say the least. We got a shooting in Lewiston, Maine, right now. And guys just killing a lot of people. And how? He's going in a bowling alley. I did print a photo of the shooter, just so you know. You can take a look. I try everything to keep up with all kinds of information and read every kind of book. And that's what I do. I narrate to you. I read the books through. And I try to do it real cool. And I hope I can count on your support. At least, that's what I'm hoping. Anyway, the Doug Rice Show is going to have its own website. I've got DougRice.com. I've already got that in the works. I just have to build it, and you will get there, I'm sure. Now, let's talk about what's happening in the Middle East, shall we? Let's discuss. Let's talk what's really happening, and let's just agree that it's all about us. It is. It's all about the displacement of us out of that region that has created the cauldron that we all see. And it's an absolute 100% certainty what's happening is about you and me. Now, here's the deal. They're calling it Palestine, but it used to be Judea. Okay? Long time ago, it was filled with Negroes, like you and me. And hopefully that doesn't get me cut. I don't think it should. If it does, just say what, or press F1. I don't know. She told me to say that. First Amendment and all that good stuff. So we got folks that are over there going through it pretty tough, right? Right? And on the 7th of this month, they started a barrage of missiles that seemed to have really gotten them, and they started to bristle. But here's the problem. 1948, they were told when they arrived that they would have to suffer and perhaps run for their lives. And they live under an iron dome as the people, kind of walk about in Rome. And I'm wondering just how safe they thought it was just to park themselves in the middle where they weren't wanted. I'm sorry I could not get that out the way I wanted to. But this is what they're going through. This is what's happening over in the Middle East, and I can tell you it's all to do with us, to say the least. We were sold out of the equation. That's what happened to the Negro nation. And it set the entire earth off balance. And until we are, all of us, put back where we originally came from, and I mean, it says it in the scriptures, each person will return to their own land. Until that happens, I can't imagine they'll have peace anywhere. If you do understand. I do, as I'm sure you do too. Go over some of the books I go through, please. Some, I believe, are quite informative. In fact, who is Esau Edom? It was quite performative. I don't know. If you guys look at the show, we went over some information about a publication called the Talmud. Nothing in that publication is any good. And if you don't know what the Talmud is, it is, in my opinion, the basis through which these individuals fight over in the Middle East all day and all night. It is an abhorrently wicked piece of publication, and certainly not meant for the Negro nation. It's in direct opposition to Scripture. Nearly everything that the Talmud says is in opposition to what the Scriptures say. And almost down to the last tittle, to the last detail. Go through my show from Monday without fail, and you'll learn about the Talmud. I'll read it from one of the publications that I offer for your donation, just so that you can review it. Yes, you, the Negro Nation. I'm Doug Rice. Thanks so much. I'm going to keep talking and thus and such. Here's why. I need your support. You know, you read what I do every day. I know that, at least I feel you like what I say. I hope you do. I hope you all take it to heart, too, because it's important that we in public places get that goddamn grin off your faces. You know what? Let me explain that. This is a good place, isn't it? Because we're talking about the grin on your face, right? Well, look. A smile on our face is giving permission. It's something that hasn't come from their admission. So we don't owe them a smile. They're not privy to our style. And let me tell you something, if you have one, you're done. You might as well run. They'll return a smile in kind, and you won't know what's on their mind. But you take that smile off your face, and then you see what might be the case. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been somewhere thinking intently as a Negro out in public, and you don't have a smile on your face, and from out of nowhere, you hear it from another race, an individual just all up in your space. You know the first thing they ask? Are you okay? Put on a smile. Do that so that I may rest a while. When we're serious-minded, when we go out there, you know, and just kind of wear the serious countenance of a very noble being, they look upon us and they just can't tell what they're seeing. When I use the word Negro, I use it because it's appropriate. It describes our royal nature, our countenance. And they cannot stand it if we look as though we think well of ourselves in public. Any serious-minded Negro is challenged to smile. If you don't believe me, try it out a while. It's kind of sinister. Wow, I can't believe that I didn't mute that. But look, I can do it right from the watch. Huh? Now, dispute that. Doug Rice, thank you so much for taking a look at this live. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to stay alive. This is the drive to keep the Doug Rice Show alive, the PDF drive, as I've called it. And I can't imagine anything being in the way or even stalled it. I just wanted to go there, who knows. Listen, look at one of my shows. One is playing right now on YouTube. I advise that if you go there and you check out The Doug Rice Show and you check out the topic, Who is Esau-Edom? It is a restream of the live that I did the day before yesterday. We did it on Monday. Well, excuse me, I did it on Sunday. Okay, so it's going to have 7 topics, I believe. All right? I could be mixing apples and oranges. Just go look at the stream that's being replayed alive on YouTube. Just look it up at The Doug Rice Show. Take a look at it for a few minutes. If it doesn't suit your fancy, then move on. But if it does, come back and dig deep in your pockets and order some of the PDFs that I have for compensation in donation to keep this Doug Rice Show station. I'm sorry. I started here. You know, I stayed on TikTok back to back to back and for hours doing lives when I reached 1,000. Imagine that. And we talked about what it would have been like if it had been us who decided to storm the Capitol on that day. Do you remember that? And I still remember saying back then that they would have had none of that. They would have certainly done us in and made us pay for that terrible sin. But it seems as they're giving out time back to back, I got to look into it because I didn't imagine that. I never thought that they would give the time they're giving some of these creatures. I mean, they're just distorting and just ruining their facial features. I hear them, but where's the big guy, the big goat, the big kahuna? When's he going to do his time? You know? Donald Trump's against the ropes. He's there. He's about there, I'd say, right? And I'd say that any time now he might have his day. But they're terrified of this dude. They're terrified of what Donald Trump might do. That is a fact. I've talked about him back to back. I've talked about him in prose. I've talked about him so Negroes knows. But it's the truth. He is the tip of the spear. Donald Trump is the one that we should all fear. That is an absolute 100% fact. Now, look. You know the folks that he's leading. You know they're interbreeding. You know all the violence they're needing. And you know that they won't be conceding. And the minute they decide to go for Donald Trump, I don't know, man. It's like hitting a bump. It's not going to be good. I think they're scared to touch the man. And I think they're doing everything they can to avoid any contact with that orange menace, just like that. That's right, I said it. Doug Rice, that's me. Thanks for coming to see. I got 2 good PDF shows that I wanted to show you. One playing right now. Another will be playing tomorrow evening on the 27th. It'll be same kind of offering. I encourage that when I post a show that I do every day at 7 a.m., that you come my way and take a look now and again. Please do it. You don't even have to say when. Just take it in. I mean, you might win. You never know. You might like the show. Who knows how it could go? All right. Where was I about these folks? All right? Because it's just no joke. I almost cursed. So we got them. I mean, they're talking about they want to go into the West Bank. They want to go into Gaza. And I understand that. It's been quite a few days. They gave them 24 hours to clear out, and it's been 18, 19 days, and they've not gone in. I don't know if that's the normal way things go, but it sounds to me like they're terrified in their skin. It seems to me they just don't want to go in. It's like, somebody's calling them for their den. You know what I mean? Now, they made an attempt to clear out, I suppose, some tunnels. And the U.S. and Israeli forces were run back. Now, please understand, I am not on any side. Either side I cannot abide. Remember, they were all involved in the conspiracy to enslave folks like you and me. So, doesn't matter who's doing what to who. Hey, we know what they'll eventually do. All right, so they're there. You know, they're in the space that they've claimed with their face, but if you've looked at any of my shows, you might know that the folks that claim to be Israel are far from being Israel as far as I can tell. The history leaves no mystery. They're not descendants of Shem. No, that is not them. Okay? And it seems they're not going back far enough with this complaint. No, they're not going far back enough. No, they ain't. They are not. They're stopping at a specific time of history, and I just don't like how it leans, you know? I mean, they moved us off Palestine. It was called Judea before that. I mean, that was the scene, remember? And if you also look at today's show, yeah, I did a show today. It was pretty good. It also covered the identity, the invention of a group of people that I can't mention because we'll get, kicked off. But I did not re-stream that live, so you got to go look at it yourself. It is today's date, the 25th, and it deals with the invention of some individuals, again, I can't mention, but it's written by a guy named Shlomo. And from there, I'm sure you'll know. All right, this is the Doug Rice Show, live on TikTok. I don't look at the chat. I leave Datrina to do that. She's going to give you all the links that you need to support the show. Listen, here's another reason it's important that you read. And you got to understand, it really fills the need. The last developmental aspect of Negro mentality was making reading common and an eventuality. This is true. They say if you want to hide something from one of us, you put it in a book. Well, I want to take that notion and make it get shook. I don't want that to be the case any longer. I think that our mental acuity needs to be stronger. And I encourage you, if not for me, of course, I'd like you to do it for me, but for your own edification, to get these PDFs and distribute them throughout the nation and read. Reading is the one privilege that we have that we can do for free once we've learned it, to do it comprehensively. You understand? And if you don't take the time to read what's available to you, they simply will assume the lie is assailable to you. And they're riding on the lie. They are literally riding high on the lie. And it's crumbling beneath them at this point. There's just being chipped away, the foundation of the abrogation, of the humiliation, the insinuation, I drift. But it's true. Everything they say about you, there's absolutely no association with the truth at all. And now we can look over and see they're about to fall. Now, Revelation is pretty clear. It says that a nation will be surrounded by other nations, and then, well, that's that. If I can report to you the news, because that's what I do, that seems to be about what they're up to. Right now, the latest news is that Great Britain has come and joined the show. I really just thought I'd just let you know. Now, think of all the countries that are down to support this country. It's, these guys, it's going to get out of hand. It's going to get out of hand. It's going to go off in that land. I can imagine this, glass is going to come from sand. If you know the reference to that, you're smart. Glass is going to come from sand, nuclear explosion turns glass to, okay, anyway, listen, I explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Now, I have written a few things. I'm hoping you guys go through my profile. The best thing that I can suggest, because some folks have said it in jest, why don't you use punctuation? Because that's not a part of being in the Negro Nation. That pause for the cause in trying to express yourself. I believe That's something for someone else. I do. If you have an expressive thought, it should be expressed from start to finish without pause. And so if you read what I write, if you like my Negro prose, my suggestion when you read any is that you read very slow through those. Okay? Just read slowly with comprehension, see? Okay? I just want to throw that out there because I typically do not do videos. I typically just write the Negro prose. All right? Thanks so much. Oh, noon show on Sunday. Yeah. So 7 o'clock on Monday through Friday. Sabbath I take off. But then on Sunday, I take that one day to kind of keep aloft. Seriously. I do 7 topics on Sunday at noon. Okay? That show is either on, I believe that show is on now. That show is on now. And the show where I do a topic a day or read a chapter, maybe, something this way, that is the show I do Monday through Friday. So, please support this if you like this, if you hear this, if you're near this. But don't fear this. Reach in and bring it in. What is it? Oh, yeah. Detrina said I needed to start to say bring it in more. And we do need to bring it in as a nation, but we have to get along first. Right? How do we get along, Negroes? How do we get along with each other? I mean, we don't have to get along with them. That's over. That's done. We don't need to do that anymore. But how do we get along with others? How do we settle the score? Very, very simple. Something that I've latched on to. I believe that as long as we treat each other as royalty, as long as we consider this creation to be a holy, royal Negro nation, and we treat each other with that kind of consideration, of course with prayer and supplication, anyway, listen, that's how we get along, that's how we carry on strong. But after that, maybe before too, there's got to be some prayer thrown in as well. It's true. The only way we're going to get out of this is to pray. There's not going to be any fighting. We can't shoot our way out. We can't beg our way out. We can't plead our way out. We can't apologize our way out. We can't forgive our way out. We can't outlive our way out. But we got to get out. We've got to leave. And this is the thing that I do perceive. We've got to go. And that's because the scriptures say so. But the only way that's going to happen is we've got to pray collectively, connectively, introspectively, if you will. I just wanted to throw that rhyme in still. But it's true, the only way that we're going to accomplish the second Exodus is to draw our God right next to this. And the only way he's coming is to hear our prayers a-humming. So, I've told you before, you are the weapon they can't ignore. You can't arm yourself with their weapons and expect to win. What that's doing is trying to associate yourself with their original sin. The Most High fights for Negroes, and someone else fights for those. So, that's what I suppose, and that's at the tip of my nose. All right, folks, this is the Doug Rice Show. I did want to read some of the things that I have read to you before. The show that'll be tomorrow, the 26th, I can't ignore, World Conflict and Adversity. That's going to be tomorrow's show. Now that I'm thinking about it, I recognize it and I know. Who is Esau-Edom will be on that space. And I got to tell you, it's some information you need in your face. And the chapter is World Conflict and Adversity. That's right. And it talks about a lot, and I do mean a lot. This thing, it'll make your head rot. It will, and I won't say it won't, not. But the two most contrasting religions, Judaism from the Talmud and Christianity from the Bible. You've got to get this information in your mind for your survival, and I will tell you why. This particular show, this particular offering for tomorrow is really going to I would say, have a curative effort for your sorrow. You're going to see these people for what they are. I mean, I'm going to draw it real close as they try to keep it afar. And no longer. The knowledge we seek is getting stronger. I can't read some of this stuff because it's pretty damn rough. And once I'd start, you'd never get enough. So, if you want to know more, tune into The Doug Rice Show. I'll be on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., and I'll be doing it the next day again and again. But on Sabbath, I'll take the day off, and then on Sunday, I'll keep it aloft. I said that before, I know. And again, if you want to check out The Doug Rice Show, do so now. The Sunday show is available, and it's playing 30-minute segments on YouTube and Facebook. Hop in, take a look, come back, and then grab a book. Right? No? Yes? Okay. All right. Back to this. What do we have? This can't miss. There are certain YouTube channels I need to recommend. The first one, I think, will become your long, fast friend. New York Prepper. Write it down. New York Prepper. It's on YouTube. This guy is pretty current about alerts. He keeps track of all of the planes that are flying about in the country, tells you presidential planes, doomsday planes, movements, and throughout the entire... There's nothing like being informed, and the only thing better than being informed is being an informed Negro. Trust me when I say this, because you'll see how this goes. So, New York Prepper, that's one. He's pretty good, but I'm not done. Canadian Prepper, another gentleman, a little bit of a right-wing guy, but, he means well. And he's also as current as I can tell. New guys, who don't tell lies, Midas Touch, and thus and such. These are the folks that I check out. Another one you want to check out, folks, is WION News. WION News. You watch that news and you can't lose. The one thing you need to be on is on your mental square. Before you know it, everything will be falling apart out there. Okay? And the way I keep up to date is I watch all this stuff before it's too damn late. A lot of this stuff is very, very informative. Midas Touch, very, very good. A lot of the live cams that are coming out of our hood, very some good stuff there. Austin Ayers, there, right? Get that one as well. Austin Ayers, I like this guy. He came from here and he was banned from here. Now he's on YouTube. It's pretty damn clear he knows what he's talking about. He's got the live cameras, the live shots that are in Israel, in the Middle East. The tensions rise high, to say the least. That's what he's got right now, if you want to go over there and check him out somehow. And another one, Divergent, D-I-V-E-R-G-E-N-T, Divergent. This gentleman deals with the subjects that I love, including incubator farms. Where do these people come from? You ever consider that? How did there become so many? There, 8,000 years ago, as we've studied, something happened. So, right. And then, the Caucasus Mountains delivered some weirdness, and we're just on a tear. But before we know it, there they were, just standing out right there. And before that happened, before that began, they damn near took over every land. And doesn't that give them a lot of sand? But we'll see how this works. Anyway, so these are some of the shows that I recommend. Another one, Agenda Free. Agenda Free, this guy is pretty good to me. Agenda Free, he is the guy that is right now reporting about the shooting. Let me just give you an update while I got you live. Reports 22 dead.
I'm not going to start saying names.
22 dead. That's him on the show. I just wanted you to know that because you needed to know. No one's in here with me, just me. Report 22 dead, 50 to 60 injured in Lewiston, looks like Maine shootings. Yes, Lewiston, Maine. And this guy, again, I want you to check him out. His name, Agenda Free. He's got 32,247 people that are not watching me. But hey, I'm trying to be generous and trying to be informative, and I know that's pretty much against the norm, but that's where I am. So go check that out. Wow, 22 dead. Naturally, it wasn't one of us that led to that unfortunate occurrence. It's the usual suspect that is shooting at people. And if you look to my social media platforms, you'll see exactly the percentage of the person that has now killed 22 people, injured between 50 and 60 people in Lewiston, Maine. And that is a live report on The Doug Rice Show as I try my best to keep the show alive with the Doug Rice Show PDF drive. Boy, oh boy, I'm just bringing it all together. Now, I don't know what this guy's going to report, and I don't know.
I'm not going to start naming potential suspects and talking about potential suspects on the stream, because I'll do that and it'll turn out to be wrong. Oh, geez, that's too loud. It'll do that.
So he's got the live stream covering the shooting right now. All right? And I don't know if that might affect this live somehow. So I'm just going to stop doing that, and I'll just continue to refer you to some of the really good YouTubes that you guys need to pay attention to. And if you can, get YouTube premiums. You don't have to sit through any advertisements. It's the best way to look at YouTube news. At least that's my surmisement. Doug Rice Show, thanks for showing up at 6:36. I'm going to be here for a little while trying to talk to you and trying to convince you to get some of this knowledge, to get some of the reading material that I read through every day, Monday through Friday, to you. It's important to understand they didn't want us reading in this land. They did not want us to read. And to me now, we need to do everything to fill that need. We got a lot of catching up to do. And so many of us fight the purpose of reading. But I can tell you without doubt, that purpose is what we're needing. And some of the PDFs that I have left, well, I have them endlessly, you know. I read them every day, Monday through Friday at 7 on The Doug Rice Show. I don't know how it happens. It just does. Let me give you some of the titles of the PDFs that I have for your recital, and maybe you'll get a laugh, maybe not. But I'm going to at least tell you what I got. Here we go. So I got The Invention of the Ish People. I can't say what I'm saying. The Ish and Their Lies. Very, very good. That is by Martin Luther. Now, not Martin Luther King. No. Different Martin Luther. This guy, he couldn't sing. Lynching in America. Wow. I've not gone over that publication. I've not offered that as a reading to the Negro Nation. It's very long, very detailed, but I'll give it to you without fail. Donate to this show so that I can keep going, just so you know. I will give you 60 rare PDFs for $200, and I will reduce the number as the number in donation goes down. Detrina can probably float the price list around, and listen, it's all for support. I also have a sponsor. I forgot to mention my sponsor. My sponsor is Twidwear. TwidWear. Twidwear.com. Now, Detrina will more likely put it in the chat, and because, well, she's there for that. But Twidwear is a guy that's been in business for about 15 years, and he's a Negro. He's one of us. He too had to ride the back of the bus, but he now owns an apparel outlet store, a provision that is, I mean, just amazing. And it's an amazing vision. It is. He's got a great logo. TWID, T-W-I-D, stands for That's What I Do. And so he's had this apparel line, and it's one that I've gone through. I like everything about Twidwear and its apparel. He sent me some stuff very, very thick, not rough, very soft and expensive, but not too expensive. You know what I mean? And if you use the promo code TDRS, and of course that's an acronym for The Doug Rice Show, you will receive 10% off any purchase of Twidwear, but also Twid Skincare. That's right. He's got a skincare line he's promoting. And as I understand, it's supposed to be great. Now, I'm going to be getting some of this skincare, and hopefully before it's too late, I'll be putting it on my face, you know, showing my style, but I still won't be going outside with a smile. Twidwear. TDRS. Also, listen, do not be put off by having to register, use your email. When you go to twidwear.com, and I'm going to say this without fail, you know, when you want these European name brands to put on your body and dress, you don't hesitate to give them your email without any guess. So if you go to twidwear.com and you order some material, I mean, hey, just put your email and register like you put milk in cereal. Yeah, I landed that. I just wanted to do that. That's right, I did it. All right, twidwear.com, please. TDRS, that's the promo code. Go check out twidwear.com and come back. Go check out twidwear.com, TWID, that's what I do, WEAR, twidwear.com. Check out the apparel, the gear. Support Negro business. You'll support the European business. You'll support Gucci. You'll support Louis Vuitton. You'll throw on some polo to put on. Come on now. We got a brother that's got his own store now. So your support, you're going to have to show now. All right, so twidwear.com. Do that, all right? I'm continuing. More of the PDF files that I have. Very, very good. The Book of the Watchers. I've got that as a PDF. The Book of the Watchers. The Book of the Watchers. In PDF form, it hits different. I'll just leave that there. The Book of the Watchers. The Tuskegee Study of Untreated Syphilis in the Male Negro. The Tuskegee Study of Now, who of us has that publication? Who has that available for the Negro Nation? The Doug Rice Show does. Yes, I do have it. Yes, it's right there. The Tuskegee Study for Untreated Syphilis. That is something we all need just to have. You know what I mean? So we don't laugh. Do the math. Transgenerational Epidemic Inheritance. This is a PDF. Transgenerational Epidemic Inheritance. Or the short title, The Plight of Negroes in America. What? My goodness. And they have some very, very interesting just some points that are made. Very short PDF, but 14 pages, but worth every page. Transgenerational, and it has nothing to do with anything like that. It's generational, not anything else. So F1. Tap the screen. I'm not done. Back to the library. The Adam and Eve story. Now let me tell you about this because it's not about glory. It's a 57-page PDF that has been declassified by the CIA. And you have to get this PDF just to see all that it has to say. Now, the Adam and Eve story was a book written by a man. Once they got hold of this book, they canceled it. And they can. And they classified it, and it talks about the end of an age. And the information you get with each turning page is amazing. But for Negroes, it should be unfazing. It's a rare PDF. Get it. Get the PDF. You never know. So I got that. Called The Adam and Eve Story. It's really cool. From Babylon to Timbuktu. I don't have to tell you what that's about, but I got that too, right? Another book, an ebook called The Globalization of War. Very, very interesting book. Someone you can't ignore. Another offering from our moderator, Detrina. The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Now, I've not gone over that particular publication yet, but that has got to be a great PDF to get. So, if you email the Doug Rice Show at gmail.com, so you know, and you give to $, the Doug Rice Show, and, you know, if you say just $200, I'll give you 60 PDFs, yo. And some will be included. Now, that doesn't mean you can't search them out yourself, but just to get 60, some of these things are really rare. I mean, the connection between colorism and white supremacy. Wasn't able to say that, but I think I did. Well, we'll see if I get away with it. F1. That is a Fordham Research Commons paper. Not very long. I just have it on the list. What's this? Oh, Barbara Fields and Karen Fields' Racecraft, the soul of inequality in American life. Wow. That's a 311-page PDF. It might save your life. No, it won't save your life. But it will educate you. It's got some wonderful information. Again, needed desperately for the Negro Nation. So, the PDF list, hopefully you haven't missed. That's what this live is about. I'm on this live to tell you about the PDF that I have as I shout. It just came out that way. I don't know. What can I say? What's more, I got the Book of the Secrets of Enoch. Interesting. In PDF form, interesting stuff. A lot of narratives to this book, a lot of extras. It's a reprint of a book that's from 1896. The Book of the Secrets of Enoch. So this is a PDF of a book that was printed in 1896 at the Clarendon Press. And the information contained within this book, you can only guess. So donate to the PDF cause that will save the Doug Rice Show, because that's what I'm trying to do, just so you know today. All right, let's see what else I got to say. The Delectable Negro. And we went over that publication, and it was an eye-opening experience for the Negro Nation. You can see the Delectable Negro reading done by me right there on the Doug Rice Show YouTube channel. Now, I don't know the date, but it'll be up there. You can watch it early, morning, noon, or late. Check it out. The Delectable Negro. Now, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, and you want your own copy, you can get it. It's near. What do you think I was going to do? Next. All right. So I'm just reading off the PDFs that I have that I give in return for your support. And we have a collection that I believe is second to none to report. I got the works of Flavius Josephus. Probably everybody got that. Hey, you see what's going on today. I have something called the 6 Days War, June 1967, and the Making the Modern Middle East. And I got to tell you, this 481-page publication is fascinating, to say the least. You want to know what's happening now? You want to know what's happening today? All you got to do is look at what's happened way back, and you'll be able to tell. Okay, seriously. So I have that too as a publication, as something that's available. 6 Days War. It is good. It is good. 481 pages. PDF for the ages. Let's see what's left. Let's take this in stages. All right. What else? Marion Sims, known as the founding father of gynecology, who talks about 3 enslaved women, Anarcha, Betsy, and Lucy, who were put through sheer hell to discover all the minutiae and involvement regarding modern gynecology. Do you understand? Just like the Tuskegee experiment put Negroes through syphilis, these ladies were put through the ringer in order to benefit folks not like them, to give insight as to the gynecological problems of women everywhere, to the sacrifice and detriment of Negro women everywhere. Naturally, they had to pay. Kind of like the HELOC thing. But that's noise I won't bring. Why do they hate us? That is basically how I can say it without getting put on the back of the bus. But it is a PDF. Why do those people hate these people? That is, so you have to exchange one for the other. Why do they hate us? And why do they fear men? That is something I read. It's a very short PDF, but it's something I had to say. It was very good. Evidence of Things Not Seen as a Sermon. It's 2 pages. You probably won't want that. But the fourth part. The fourth part. Somebody made me look up the fourth part. You might want to investigate the fourth part. It talks about the division and the mapping of this country. It does. And it comes with some receipts. And they're good. Very short PDF, 7 pages, but I'll include it. You don't have it, you'll need it. What else do I got? Now this one says a lot. I have not read this, but I'm not scared. Because I ain't scared of any word. This is a PDF, 357 pages. The title of the PDF is Caesar's Messiah, the Roman Conspiracy to Invent Jesus. Now, I bet if we read that, that might please us. Joseph Atwill is the writer. It looks like this one could be an all-nighter, but it's there for your Negro fare. If you donate to this show, you too can get the PDF and know whether or not Caesar's Messiah, the Roman Conspiracy to Invent Jesus, is worth it. I don't know. I might go over that one. That looks interesting. 357 pages. The fishers of men who were caught like fish. These are the table of contents. The son of Mary who was a Passover sacrifice. The demons of Gadara. Eleazar Lazarus, the real Christ. The puzzle of the empty tomb. The new root and branch. Until all is fulfilled. This from that publication, Caesar's Messiah, the Roman Conspiracy to Invent Jesus. 357-page PDF that I offer for your support. I will include it in a 200-page donation. 60 complete PDFs for your amusement, beruisement. Who knows? The puzzle of Dicus Mondus, the Father and the Son of God. Josephus, use of the book of Daniel. Building Jesus. I'm not scared. I believe in the Messiah. But I know that my knowledge factor could probably go higher. And I'm going to eat the meat out, and I'm going to spit out the bone. I know to leave the nonsense alone. You know what? I think I'll make that saying my own. I can't. Brother Yacoba. That's his chant. All right, continuing. Hebrews of the West African from Nile to Niger with the Jews. This is a PDF that every Negro could use. 463 pages. You know, listen, this is a phenomenal read, and it's, again, a PDF that I believe all Negroes need. Phenomenal, phenomenal. 463 pages, and I believe I've gone over some of the content. Very, very detailed book. Ashanti influence on Jamaican customs. The Ashanti of West Africa. Ashanti Hebrewisms. The supreme being of the Ashanti. I don't know if this is Ashanti driven, but whatever. We'll see how we're living. Other Hebrewisms in West Africa. The lost tribes of Israel. The diaspora. There's Mora. The lion of the tribe of Judah. Vanished glories of the north. Mysteries of the desert. The flash pots of Egypt. The long trek conclusions and confirmation of the theory. These are PDFs that I have that are available to you. Hopefully you might take advantage and get a few. All right. My name is Doug Rice. Thank you so much for showing up, tuning in. I'm going to continue. There's a lot of news that there is still yet to peruse. The lot going on. That mass shooting seems to be going on strong. We got a Gaza live. Oh, as you can hear that. That's Gaza. I think they're on, I think they're doing their thing. I'll let them do that so they can sing. Solomon, the Testament, Key, and Legitimon of Solomon, the unabridged Key and Legitimon, which I believe means something, the Testament of Solomon, 466-page study of the Testament of Solomon to be included in any PDF donation you might give. The 13th tribe, the truth about Khazars, that's not really mine, so that's not ours. The Synagogue of Satan Conspiracy. I think I can say that, right? 185 pages by Andrew Carrington Hitchcock. I will give this PDF to you for a donation, and that's a lot. I've gone over this as well. You are able to see it. It's right there on my YouTube channel. So be it, right? Yes, folks, this is what I do. Nature knows no color line. I'll give you that one too. If you don't know about this publication, I did go over it not too long ago, and it's right there on the YouTube channel, listed under The Doug Rice Show. Nature Knows No Color Line, 128-page PDF I will give in exchange for your support. So I just wanted to kind of go down just a few of the PDFs that we have. The truth, forgotten truth about the Balfour Declaration, the next 100 years. Let me tell you something. It's good to examine their fears. The next 100 years examines what they feel should be the course of action for this planet over the next 100 years, and they go literally. I have this 255-page PDF. I have this literally. They're going from 2020 to 2040s, the prelude to war. It's an amazing publication, and there's still more. So, the Overture, an introduction to the American age, the dawn of the American age. And they go year by year into the future and tell you what's going to happen, all the way down through 2030, 2050, as if they've got control. Don't they think they're nifty? That's interesting. Without sanctuary. I read about that book. I did not allow the pictures because you couldn't look. But if you want Without Sanctuary, the PDF with photos, I got a few left. That is a book that every Negro should have. That's a publication that will not make you laugh. Without Sanctuary, let me tell you. It reviews in photogenic form the lynchings in Americas when they were the norm. And it's a terribly compelling publication. Again, Without Sanctuary, photo edition. Getting your hands on that PDF should be your mission. And I mean that, because that one, I got the receipts on that. Do you know what they used to do to us? Certainly ain't nothing new to us. So I got that, the Without Sanctuary photo edition, 219 pages. I have an edition without photos. I have an edition with photos. With photos, I'm going to tell you, I know that there are people that are charging $200 for this PDF with photos. I will include this PDF amongst 59 others for a $200 donation. I will include all of the best PDFs for the least amount of money. I'm not going to hold the best PDFs for the least amount of money. I believe you can get, I believe there are 10 PDFs for a certain amount of money. I'll pick out the best because I don't play funny. This one is one you need. This one you have to read. This one I can't concede. Without Sanctuary, the photo edition. All you have to do is email TheDougRiceShow@gmail.com. Donate to $, The Doug Rice Show. Do it while we're on. And get your copy of this one before it's long. I mean, if I could turn and show you some of what I'm seeing, this live would not be any more being. Wow. Yeah, it's good. And it starting on page 52, that's when they start the photos. And they're 219 pages. 290 pages, and it's everything you expect. Without Sanctuary, your mental, it won't protect. It's Without Sanctuary, photo edition, folks. Yeah, make that your mission. What else here? Look, this is what I do. I can talk till I'm blue. I am blue, but I can keep up a conversation. I can edify to the Negro Nation, and I read rather well, and so I'm really trying to sell me, if you can't tell. I think I've got a knack for the gift of gab, and I want to do it on a permanent slag. I want to do it every day. because I think it's important to hear what I say, and not just me, but what others say too. And so if you could give, that'd be nice. You know? Okay, anyway. Forgotten Truth About Balfour. I've already done that. This going down. Listen, another feature that we have in the PDF offers here, and this is just a PDF drive to help support this effort. Another feature that we have is that there are language PDFs we have too. Learning Hebrew, modern, ancient, some of their history. That 6-Day War is not bad. Rough Guide to Jerusalem, modern Hebrew prose. Other books I have are in Hebrew, and of course I can't read none of those. So, Israelite of the children of Israel, you need to know how they're telling their story. We found that out in yesterday's show. Just so you know, you need to know the story they're telling themselves. That I can tell you. Don't put those books on the shelves. Don't do that. No, if you get an opportunity to read what they believe, then take that opportunity that you can perceive and conceive and believe and maybe eventually leave. I don't know, seriously though. So I have some of those books, eventually. Well, I have those books transiently. A reference grammar of modern Hebrew, my first Hebrew word book. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is definitely worth a look. Vocabulary in Hebrew Level 1 booklet, got that. An Introduction to Hebrew Grammar, Teach Yourself Modern Hebrew. Nat Turner's Rebellion. Wait, that's not a learning book. I read that one. I read through Nat Turner's Rebellion, and it was a hell of a show. And it's also available on YouTube, just so you know. But it's also available as a PDF, 339 pages. Okay? You can read it and take it in stages. I didn't read all 339 pages. But this is by Patrick H. Breen, under the direction of Emery M. Thomas, and it talks about Nat Turner's revolt, rebellion, and response in Southampton County, Virginia. It's 339-page PDF that is available and can be in your face for your support. The Doug Rice Show. If you like reading what I write, remember I can also talk all night. And I will say this book here, Nat Turner Rebellion, that'll give you a fright. They created something called Nat Juice after all of Nat Turner's revenge got loose. And they sold it so that they could drink it, so they could absorb us. You know, that's a hell of a factoid. That's one you can't avoid. That's heavy, deep instrumentation. That is heavy shit for the Negro Nation. Okay. Interesting. Nat Turner's Rebellion. You definitely want to get a look at that. More language. Book of Enoch. Biblical Hebrew. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. That came out of nowhere. I read this one as well. It's a book by Joy DeGruy, PhD. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. It's a book about you and me. America's legacy of enduring injury and healing. America doesn't have a legacy. Negroes have a legacy of enduring injury and healing. And I kind of renamed it that. And it's a 923-page PDF that I have for you, if you choose to support this effort. And I know you do, too. It's pretty good, though. A lot of good stuff. I covered some of the chapters, and they were rough. Let me give you a few of them. Chapter 1, I don't even notice race. Well, I wonder who says that. Chapter 2, a whole to 3/5 dehumanization. Chapter 3, crimes against humanity. Chapter 4, post-traumatic slave syndrome. Chapter 5, slavery's children. Chapter 6, healing. This is the kind of information I am revealing. That is post-traumatic slave syndrome. That's a book you definitely want to take home. I'm doing what I'm doing. Don't try to ruin it. Plus, I'm just going down the list of books, laws and commandments. The Book of Astronomical Secrets. Laws and Commandments is just 670. I mean, you don't need that as a, you can, but if you wanted to copy and paste those laws and families, that would be an effective way of writing down your own copy. I didn't want to give you that cheat, but hey. Operation Mockingbird. Some good stuff there. Operation Mockingbird, right up there with, the Operation Paperclip. These are declassified CIA docs that are extremely interesting to read. And if you want to know where this country is coming from, those are the PDFs you need. That's just the truth. Orwellian propaganda used by Clear Society. Now, I've gone through this book, but there's just more variety. I mean, these are the kind of PDFs that I'm offering. This one I went through. This is by Franklin Jones. Who knew? He has a website called theblackpeoplematrix.com. You might want to write that down. www.theblackpeoplematrix.com. 16-page PDF. I read through all of it in one sitting. It was a rough read, and it's for your perusal if you want it. Operation Northwoods. That's another declassified PDF, kind of CIA classified, that you definitely want to check out. Operation High Jump. Why not look at this? Northwoods is justification for U.S. military intervention in Cuba. You want to read as much as you need to get, the information to see what this country and nation is about to you and me, because it's clearly not a place that we're free. It just happened. 15-page document, declassified, CIA, Operation Northwoods. What can I say? 20 practice Hebrew conversations. Like I said, there's still more. 9 black teens arrested and falsely accused of what they do in Scottsville, Alabama. I read that entire printing. What else here? The Gateway Project. Do you know anything about the Gateway Project? Another declassified CIA op that delves into the metaphysical and all the studies they did under classification to go from here to there without going anywhere. It was kind of weird, but to declassify it tells me that it went nowhere. So it's probably good to hear it, but, not bad. The Parables of Enoch. The Parables of Enoch. I don't know. The Parables of Enoch. Have you heard of the Parables of Enoch? Have you heard of the Parables of Enoch? I don't know. The Parables of Enoch. Provenance and social setting. This is a 21-page PDF that you'd be getting. Very interesting. Enoch, Dream, and Visions. I got that too. So, I think I got about everything you can use. All right, so I've also got the PDF donation calculation chart. I'm going to read that because, in my memory, I'm not too smart. So here we go. Thank goodness I found this. Boom. So for 60 PDFs, normal price is $210, $200. We're taking off the extra chain. 50 PDFs is $160. 40 PDFs is $120. 35 PDFs is $96. 30 PDFs is $64. That's a good jump. 25 is $56. 20 is $40. 15 is $25. 10 is $15. 5 PDFs is $6. And a PDF is PIEFs is $1. So any PDF that you like might want to make you holler. You don't give and contribute, and then I will take the loot, and then I will shoot you the PDFs. Real smooth. I'll do it smoothly. You'll like it. And then you'll have the PDFs that I read on the show, and then you too will be in the know. All right, the Book of Jasher, I got that. 13th Tribe. The 13th Tribe. Now, the 13th Tribe took the author's lives. That's right. Arthur Kessler was the author of the 13th Tribe. And we went over that book just a few days ago. It's a 99-page document. And they found this individual unalive with his wife out of nowhere for some mysterious reason, and they called it suspicious. So, you got to understand the writing in there is vicious. Okay. That too is available to you. And I'm almost done, I think. Yes, the books of Flavius Josephus, and we're done. Okay, so that's what I got in offering for the show. But there is more that we can talk about, and I can do it all day. There's pretty much anything I can talk about and say. The folks that are in the Middle East are not the people of the book, to say the least. We could start there and just begin to fill the air with all the factoids we need every day. That's not going to change anything. The only thing that's going to change anything is if we Negroes get together and pray. That's it. We're going to have to collectively pray to the Father for deliverance. And that's when the Father's going to show up. If you don't believe it, all you got to do is read it in the scripture. Because there it is written up. There it is, right there. And it's going to dawn on us eventually that that's what we're going to have to do. Eventually, we are all going to figure out that praying is what the Creator has been saying. That all of us collectively as one Negro nation have to pray together to get deliverance. That's it. You know, we can't fight it out. We can't beg it out. We can't I went through that, right? We can't do any of that. We've done all that. We've done it. And they're still doing to us. You know, we're still getting taken down while shopping on a Saturday while somebody writes a 200-page manifesto and drives miles to unalive. All the smile. Right? Right? I mean, you go on a camping trip with someone you consider a friend, and you're never seen from or heard of again. And there's absolutely no way to pretend, but once you're gone, there's no way to amend. So, what are we doing here? How did we get here? How did we arrive? And more than that, how are we able to save our Negro lives? Well, we got to look for the exits. We got to try to protect us. We've got to do everything we can to connect us. We've got to. We're Negroes, and we're almost out of here. And I appreciate you this evening lending me your ear. But now, if you do like what you see, do me a favor and donate to me, The Doug Rice Show, because there you know, I got to pay the Trina at some point, yo. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway. All right, what do we got? What do we got? There's no news. I've been here a lot. What, an hour and what? An hour and 12 minutes? That should do it, right? Or you want me to just start from the beginning and then run through it? Because I can do that. That's not a problem. All right? Instead, what I'll do is end the show here and then tell you tomorrow morning, lend me your ear. 7 a.m., be here, folks. Order PDFs. Order the knowledge. Get some of the information. Educate yourself. Bring yourself up to speed in the Negro Nation. We're almost out of here. Yes, your deliverance is close. You know? And very few will survive, and, you know, dying will be most. But you got to stay up on your Negro square, and you got to get up there, and you got to stay there, and, you know, you can't be mussing around with your hair, because, you know, there it is right there. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired, and I got to go. And I think that's going to be it for this show. But if you're interested in supporting this, please give to this effort, and don't miss the next show that comes on tomorrow, 7 a.m. I'll be there with bells on. You can say when. All right, folks, I got to go. I've been at this an hour. I'm good, right? Got to know when to leave. At least you know when you should. All right, folks, I got to go. You guys have a wonderful day, and I do thank you for tuning into the Doug Rice Show. Okay. Wait! Yeah. Been doing this a while, but I haven't done it like this in a minute, so let me see if I can get myself in it. Today is Wednesday. It's hump day. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it great? But I got to say this before it gets too late. If you are going out tomorrow in public places, do me a favor. Get that goddamn grin off your faces.